A reading from the Gospel of Luke. The two disciples recounted what had taken place on the way and how Jesus was made known to them in the breaking of the bread. While they were still speaking about this, he stood in their midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." But they were startled and terrified and thought that they were seeing a ghost. Then he said to them, "Why are you troubled? And why do questions arise in your hearts? Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." And as he said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. While they were still incredulous for joy and were amazed, he asked them, "Have you anything here to eat?" They gave him a piece of fish. He took it and ate it in front of them. From the very beginning, there has been debate of exactly how Jesus was resurrected. Was he really and truly bodily resurrected? Or did it just appear that way? Or was it not a resurrection at all, but rather just Jesus simply appearing to these people as a vision? Today's gospel passage shows exactly what Luke's community believes to have happened. Jesus was really and truly bodily resurrected. However, in addition to being bodily resurrected, he can now do things that he never did before his death and resurrection. He can simply appear and disappear before people's very eyes. He can also appear into rooms that are locked. And this also means he can walk through walls, just like a ghost could do. However, as Luke states, Jesus is not a ghost at all. He is a fully resurrected human being, and then some. After all, normal human beings can't walk through walls and appear and disappear before our very eyes. Knowing this fact caused debates among early Christian groups to explain how this could happen. As I've said before, in these early stages, a more apt term to describe this variety is Christianities, because different groups of people needed to sort out what had happened and what it all meant. True Christianity would need to evolve gradually over time. As a result, the major question of whether it was really and truly Jesus of Nazareth in body and soul was something that these Christianities didn't all agree on. For example, there was a group that would later be deemed heretical, known as the Gnostic Christians, who believed that Jesus didn't really and truly become bodily resurrected. Within this one group, however, there were various different opinions. Like I often say about Slovenians, when you had two people, you had three different opinions. Some said that Jesus died on the cross and then only appeared to be fully resurrected after his death. However, some even took it a step further, saying that Jesus only appeared to be crucified. Some said that a person was crucified in place of Jesus and looked very similar to him, while others said that the real Jesus was occupying the body of a human being and then abandoned him, as said in Mark and Matthew's gospel, just before the human that Jesus was living within would die. Regardless of what these groups believed, the consensus among Gnostic Christians was that Jesus only appeared to be resurrected, while some added on that Jesus only appeared to be crucified. As an aside, these Gnostic Christians would later influence Muhammad, the founder of Islam, who would eventually claim that God revealed in the Quran that Jesus wasn't actually crucified because That wouldn't be a fitting death for a prophet. Now, this sounds kind of like the telephone game to me. Now, getting back to Luke's community, they did not agree with the Gnostics' conclusion. What they did agree with the Gnostics, however, was that Jesus did indeed walk through walls, appear and disappear before their very eyes, and was able to come into fully locked rooms. However, while today's gospel acknowledges these facts, they depart from the Gnostics when Jesus eats a piece of baked fish with the two of his disciples. If Jesus were a ghost, like the Gnostics suggest, then he wouldn't be able to eat fish. A ghost can't do that. Moreover, Luke's gospel makes it abundantly clear that he is fully and bodily resurrected when Jesus says, "Look at my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see me, because a ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you can see I have." After all, no one can touch a ghost. So although Jesus might be able to do some things a ghost can do, i.e., walking through walls and appearing and disappearing to his disciples, his being able to eat and be touched makes him, by extension, fully and bodily resurrected. He is fully human, and then some. As a result, what we see in today's gospel is Luke pointing out a rival group's beliefs, i.e., the Gnostic Christians, and quite bluntly disagreeing and disproving them. So although they might have had some similarities with each other, they are quite bluntly outlining why the Gnostics are wrong. Luke's community, however, is right. As we see today, Luke's community is on the right side of history. Christians today quite rightly believe that Jesus was truly and fully bodily resurrected. Now, what does this mean for us? Sometimes we too might get in disagreements with other Christians. Lord knows we have plenty of denominations within Christianity. Luke's gospel outlines a good way to disprove another person's beliefs. Step 1, point out what you do agree on. Step 2,